Oh man, guys. Wow. Yeah, so just got back from Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. I feel like such a goober fucking saying the title of that movie. Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. So much word salad. Fucking yeah, though. This movie is not that good. It's not great. Oh yeah, it's really where do I begin about how bad it is? Well, like the shit's probably gonna be spoiler heavy, by the way. In fact, I'm totally sure it is. I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie. So if you don't wanna, if you wanna see it like fresh or as fresh as you can see it, then you should probably not watch this or look at the internet because I'm sure like there's gonna be a ton of people talking about it. And like they do nowadays, fucking around. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna start with the good stuff because there was some, right? I'll start out positive because there's not much. There's not much good stuff in it. It was super pretty. Zack Schneider movies are super pretty, right? So like, you're not gonna be disappointed there. This is definitely like a Zack Schneider comic book movie, right? So it's got all the shit that he likes to do. Similar shit from like, like 300 or like the Watchmen. I haven't seen all the Watchmen yet. I gotta really check that one out before I fucking start casting aspersions entirely on Zack Schneider's career because I do like 300. Definitely the first one anyway. Super rad. It's a pretty simple narrative though. You know, there's some dudes. They go out. They have like a battle and they all die, right? And it's fucking awesome the entire time. And everyone's excited. Yeah, that's the problem with like Zack Snyder movies, right? Is like when they I don't know if it's entirely his fault, because I don't think he didn't write this one. I don't think. Got IMDb here just in case, so I can fucking annoy everyone like I do by looking shit up on IMDb, and of course it's on like the front page. Shouldn't take that long, but yeah, man. Like I don't know if it's his fault or not. That his movies fall apart narratively, like the way they do, because they totally do, like all of them do. Even the except maybe for Watchmen, I don't know. Like and 300 didn't obviously because it was just like a super simple story. Like there you go. There's like a little bit of intrigue in the middle to spice it up, and then you're all the way there. But like it was pretty. Superman Dawn of Justice. Superman versus Batman Dawn of Justice. Oh fuck. Oh, I'm gonna keep saying that until I can say it without fucking cringing. Such a bad title for a movie. Just call it Dawn of Justice or Superman versus Batman. Maybe not Superman versus Batman. There's a lot of reasons why not too, but it was super pretty though. It was very pretty. It's really well shot. Like the framing was on point. Super full on like Zack Schneider style. It was like um he likes his like super obvious mise en scène, right? He likes to like, you know, something like fucking Jesus is happening. He'll have like three goddamn like crosses in the background, or like somebody's talking about some shit. Like there's like one point where like um the fucking Jesse Eisenberg, the fucking guy, Eisenberg, yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. Lex Luthor is talking about some shit, and like his head's like framed in this like crazy like fucking like saint like fucking thing that's coming down from the ceiling, and it's like super obvious. And like he does a ton of shit like that, right? And like I kind of appreciate that. Like even though it's like super heavy handed, with with like this like the naked symbolism of stuff. Like it's fun, and I totally like it. I like to easily point shit out on the screen, like oh look what they're doing, like look, the arrows are pointing to that guy. That means he's important, you know, or like, you know, fucking, or like this dude's framed in the doorway, you know, like fucking Schneider does all that. He's got his cinematic language visually pretty much down, you know, which is awesome. Um, yeah, man. Other good stuff about it. It's super pretty. Batman sequences were cool. Like when Batman's like fighting people or doing like weird shit. I felt that those were good. They were kind of like they were a good transition between like the kind of bummer, well not bummer, Batman, but like the that Christopher Nolan ass like Batman where everything's like super kind of like he's trying to go like as real as possible almost. He's trying to make things like look like they would happen, I guess, with like he still kind of takes those aesthetics in this kind of, but he kind of like adds just like a little bit more cartoon in there, like a tiny little bit. So like Batman's doing weird shit. He's like scuttling around on the ceiling, you know, doing stuff you would find in a comic book. So it's kind of like it's almost like a return from like the veristic Nolan Batman to like previous ones from the past that are like kind of, well, I think cooler looking, you know. Maybe that was Schumacher Batman. Yeah, the first one's all right. No, it's not. It's not good. But like the, you know, like the Burton stuff and like shit you'll see in the comic books, like, you know, he's told that he's got that fucking like thing. Like there's this part where like he's fucking up some like human traffickers and shit. The cops roll up and he's like still there fucking people up. And like there's like a scene where he's just like stuck in a fucking corner like a goddamn vampire, like in the corner of the ceiling, just like creeping out there. That's awesome. That's the kind of shit I like to see in like a Batman movie. Like the kind of like just this side of like gothy kind of fucking like weird shit, you know. That's the kind of stuff I look for, which is awesome. Yeah, like the sets, locations look awesome. There's this part where they go to Africa for no fucking reason. Doesn't make any sense. They didn't need any of this in the movie, right? But they're in that kind of like that central that like near Sudan kind of area of Africa where they have those fucking towers. Like in places, it's hard to express what they look like. They're like little like square like towers with weird shit sticking out of them. Like there's a scene like in a village in Africa that looks like that, and it looks fucking awesome. Everything in this movie looks awesome. Good job, you know. Nearly everything. Let's see. Anything else? Jeremy Irons as fucking Alfred was awesome. He's kind of like returning to that more passive like assholey Alfred, which I totally like. He's just fucking on it. His costumes, all the costumes in this movie look fucking sweet too. Except it's weird because like the regular people costumes look a lot better than like the superhero costumes, in my opinion. Like everybody looks kind of like their shit doesn't quite like do it for me. Like the new bat suits are kind of, I don't know. Like he has like a robot suit at one point. It looks pretty goofy. You know, like it's like his other bat suit looks like a little ridiculous. I'm not into that. Like Superman suits always look dumb. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. It's fucking Long Johns in a cape. Yeah. No matter what you do, Superman's always gonna have a Goonie costume. That's kind of like part of him though. So it's cool. You know, I can live with that. The Wonder Woman costume, it's sexy. You know, here's my cat, by the way, Pantera. Over there at the camera. But Alfred's wearing this fucking rad, fucking like weird, like leather strappy apron thing. Like in the first scene that he's in, he's like creeping around like this kind of like this old timey suit, like with like this weird like leather fucking harness, like holding on like I think it's like holding on like a welding apron. He looks awesome. Right? Like the locations are sweet. Like they do like the what is it? Like Wayne Manor's all fucked up in this movie. It's all like fucking like in disrepair and like burnt out and fucking like Batman lives in like this just like this weird like glass cabin over by a fucking lake that's like on his property. It looks awesome. It looks fucking sweet. And the new Batcave looks fucking sweet. It's all like glass and inside a cave, and there's like water dripping down from places. It looks very cool. Everything looks cool. Stated. All right. Jeremy Irons was rad. Gal Gadot, or whatever the fuck her name is. Chick who plays Wonder Woman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Once again, I'm mispronouncing shit. She's good in it. Like, she's super hot in it. But, she doesn't really have a lot to do. You know? It's weird. Like, I'll get to her thing a bit later. Yeah, but, any other good shit? The soundtrack's awesome. The soundtrack's very fucking weird to this movie. It sounds like kind of like a Beethoven like concerto or something. It sounds like they have like super like fucking like weird violins and like harpsichords and shit, and it's all percussive, you know. And it just sounds fucking like awesome. It's some weird fucking orchestral music. It sounds like in the 70s and 80s when they used to just fucking jack fucking like classical music and put it on the soundtrack of movies, like when for like, I don't know, like a Clockwork Orange or like Zardoz or fucking what, Excalibur, you know, like they just, it's like, we got some Wagner here, I'm gonna fucking put it on the soundtrack, it sounds awesome, we don't have to pay anyone. You know, it sounds like that, but they composed it for the movie, which is awesome. And that's another thing that's very fucking cool in those. Is there's Excalibur references out the ass. Like, both just visually, like, in the background, and also, like, in, like, one or two of the scenes where shit's happening. Like, it's real strange. And I'm talking about, like, John Borman's Excalibur here, like, from, like, 1981, I guess. Because, like, the first time you see Excalibur happening is, it's gonna come out that Wednesday, like, after fucking Bruce Wayne's parents get killed when he's like a little kid. They're like walking home from the theater or whatever, and they're walking in front of like a giant fucking red marquee sign that just says Excalibur opening next Wednesday. So I'm trying to figure out like how old Batman is with this. I'm like, when did fucking Excalibur come out? You know, like in the movie theater. And then there's like directly after that, they're like in a mausoleum, and it's 1981 when they got shot. So I'm like, okay, 1981, cool. You know. And there's other shit with this too, like they make like a spear out of fucking kryptonite to kill Superman with, and they end up not killing with it, but they kill somebody else with it. Fucking Doomsday's in this movie. Which, I don't know, a lot of that bothered me, but yeah, like, so they have this fucking Kryptonian killing fucking spear or whatever, and they end up throwing it like in a fucking like just this weird like pond in some fucking in like some disused building in like Gotham City, you know. And then like they have to go back down there and get it, and it's kind of like when that one fucking scene in Excalibur where stupid King Arthur breaks his shit trying to kill Lancelot, right? And they get it back from like he's like, throw it in the water quick, and then like fucking like Merlin's like, pick that shit back up, hurry, before she fucking takes it away. You guys should all see Excalibur if you haven't seen it. It's fucking rad, and there's a ton of it in this movie. And there's another scene at the end where they stab Doomsday. Fucking Doomsday has all these like weird bony protrusions and shit, right? Doomsday is this like big monster that can fight Superman. If you haven't like read the Doomsday comic, it's been like a long time since I've read it. But yeah, he's got like this all these bony protrusions and shit, and he fucking shanks up Superman with one of them, and then like fucking Superman walks down like the bone and stabs him with a kryptonite sphere and shit. So it's like that scene at the end of Excalibur where Mordred and fucking King Arthur like stab each other out in front of like the sun. It doesn't look exactly the same, but it's like the same like thing, and they like fucking like just stab the fucking shit out of each other. And like I think like King Arthur walks down the fucking blade and like shanks up fucking Mordred with Excalibur. Awesome movie. Excalibur is a far better movie than this. But I'm glad Zack Snyder's fucking down with it. You know, like he obviously is. There's a lot of shit from there in here. um, yeah, man. Other than that, the movie's not that great. Dude, like the performances are fucking weak as fuck. Like, I don't know, Henry Cavill, the dude who plays Superman. Like he's a good actor, just not in this role. Not great. Like he's like just this. There's this shit he does with his face, like to fucking to like express that he's bummed out. Like his bummed out Superman face just looks like he kind of smells something bad, maybe. And he does it like a ton in this movie because it's just this movie's all about bumming out Superman, right? Like the whole plot is fucking bummer day for Superman. It's just fuck up his life like really hard. That's like the whole movie. So it's a whole lot of fucking Cavill making his smell something in the room face. You know, he's good in other shit though. You know, just not this one, right? Yeah. Once again, just like Man of Steel and what is it? Superman Lives. The other movie that came out before that one with fucking, you know, where Superman has that baby and they like oh, what is that? Which one is that with Kevin Spacey? It's really terrible. That one. But like these three movies don't know what the fuck to do with Lois Lane. They have no idea what to do with that character. You know? They're just like they're fighting super hard to stick her in the movie and like give her some kind of agency and some cool shit to do, but like it just feels like they fucking horned it in there. You know, like it doesn't feel like any of it really has anything to do with anything, and like at the end she ends up getting messed up a whole lot just kind of because, you know, like they do with that character. It's super weird. Like that's a cool character, you know, like in a lot of the books and shit like that. You know, and like I've always found that like a cool thing, like the just kind of like the regular fucking people who hang out with superheroes. You know, I'd like to know a little bit more about them. You know, but like she's really just kind of fucked throughout this whole movie. Affleck is a real dull Batman. Like he's real. He's just playing it so monotone and like just super dull. Like, which is like I kind of like. I'm not entirely sure if the character was written that way because they're trying to portray Batman as like some guy who's kind of burned out and shit, you know, from like being like fighting like crime and like just already kind of being a fucking weirdo. Because that's like one of the cool things about the modern Batman that I always dig is like they always like to explore like that the shit he's doing is already kind of weird and he's already kind of a weird guy. Yeah, like so like that's kind of like one of his character traits now is he's kind of like a weird dude, and I think like Affleck's maybe trying to express that, just like his fucking just kind of like he's just not there like at all throughout this movie. It looks like he's just kind of fucking walking through it, you know, when he's Bruce Wayne, which like I it's either that was written that way and directed that way, and I'm just not liking it personally because you know I like other portrayals of Batman better, or it was Affleck like really scared to do anything to the character because he knew like fan backlash was gonna just fucking murder him and people are gonna be like showing up at his house and shit, right? Because like right when he got announced it for this, like everybody was just fucking like polarized into two camps, like either he's gonna be fucking awful or like he's gonna be great. It's a perfect choice, you know. Like I don't know, you know, like he was all right. He was just dull. He was just kind of like a non-entity as Bruce Wayne, and then like all his Batman lines are like super late '80s, early '90s, extra badass like comic book character shit. So oh man, so like I don't know about that. You know, that's like a whole other thing about the Batman portrayal in this. Is he's super late '80s badass comic book guy. Like he's got like a robot suit with like belts all over it and like guns and shit like that. And all his lines are fucking ridiculous. Like all his lines as Batman are fucking ridiculous, and all his lines as Bruce Wayne are fucking just kind of delivered in like a really boring way. So cool though. Yeah, man. What else? What else? Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman didn't fucking have anything to do in the movie. They didn't give her shit. Up until the very end, she was just kind of like a hot girl who was standing by things, you know, and kind of talking with a weird accent. And then, like, last fucking 10 minutes of the movie, she's Wonder Woman. But it's just, like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to be there. I think it's just there because they're trying to set up, like, a Justice League, like, universe. But it sucks because, like, they could have just given her own movie and then done, like, the Avengers thing where, like, you know, they just kind of bring it together at the end, you know, and just have, like, separate movies for all the fucking characters and then like team up movies. I would have liked that like far more, you know, because it shows her like hanging out with these guys in the past, like in 1918, like these fucking like badass World War I adventurer dudes, you know. Like I'm like I want to see her and them like kicking the Kaiser's ass in fucking Belgium or whatever the fuck they're doing there. Like I don't really know a whole bunch about her mythology, so I'm not like really aware of like her like World War fucking one actions, but like whatever, right? Eisenberg miscast as fuck. He was super annoying in this. It's hard to get a good Lex Luthor. He's been played by like so many like really good actors in film, right? But like Eisenberg was just not. He wasn't working. He wasn't working for me. Something about it, you know. That's Yeah, man. What else? What else? What else? Yeah. So, like thematically, this movie's fucking all over the place and weird, and it doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. Because like it starts out, it's kind of a political thriller, which is crazy and awesome, you know. But it's like Lois Lane going to fucking like Africa to talk to guys who might be terrorists or whatever, and like there's this whole like tirade about like drone strikes and like all like private military companies and like shit that like really happens, you know. So yeah, there's that. But like it doesn't really make any sense like contextually like with the movie. You know, like there's just like a lot of stuff going on there that like doesn't make any sense, and it's just like turns out it's all to fuck up Superman. Like that's the whole like reason like shit's going on like that. Like there was like a CIA dude there for like no reason he gets shot, and like there was you know Superman shows up and fucks everybody up, but there was already murder like going on there, and it like got blamed on him by like the natives or whatever, and they like fucking take it to, you know, like an international level and shit like that. They're like he's a bad dude, you know, he's ruining shit for the United States, you know, and people here are like holding like fucking like Senate hearings and shit like that, like trying to fucking like figure out like what's going on with him and like raining shit in, you know. Sounds like real familiar. It sounds a lot like what's going on in the Marvel universe a little bit, and has been, you know, this cinematically, which is kind of weird because a lot of this movie feels kind of like a reaction to the success of, or the box office success anyway, not necessarily the artistic success, but you know, the success of like the Marvel shit, right? You know, because like this whole movie is about a rich guy who happens to own a robot suit, and he gets fucking a little too worried about aliens, and he takes it a little bit too far. You know, same shit, right? And there's like Senate hearings and people freaking out, you know, about like guys who could have superpowers. Whatever, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little worried that DC is kind of like following on like the cinematic heels a little bit, you know, instead of like doing their own shit, because like DC characters to me don't work well like in like team scenarios like that. You know, they need their own movies. Like Batman needs to be in fucking Gotham City doing weird shit, having spooky adventures with fucking like crazy deformed guys and like crime lords and shit like that. Superman can fight robots from space fucking all day, like in his own little world. Like it's almost like, you know, never the fucking twain, like don't fuck around with these two little things, right? You know, like these two little microcosms of the like DC universe. It's cool that they're in the same continuity, but like when they're in the same movie, it just doesn't work for me too well. But yeah, there's a ton of political shit in this, and like the politics of the movie are super hard to understand because they're like everywhere, right? They're just kind of jumping around. It's almost like whoever wrote it, you know, was like, we're gonna put political shit in this movie. It's not going to mean anything because it's going to be, you know, it's going to be 16 different like theses of like what could be like going on. You know what I mean? So there's like anti-war shit and there's pro-war shit and there's like, you know, American intervention and not American intervention. There's this like fucking they kept which is cool that it's cool that they didn't retcon the shit that happened in Man of Steel when he like blew up fucking Metropolis or whatever, like fighting General Zod and shit. Like that's actually like the first part of this movie. It's like because this is pretty much like a Batman movie featuring Superman and all his bullshit problems, right? Because it's like fucking Bruce Wayne like driving around in fucking Metropolis while fucking like Superman's blowing up all the buildings and shit like that, and like he gets like super freaked out by it, and he's like, oh no, you know, this guy could just fuck everybody up. Right, and like he's actually the bad person, but you know, and then it all works out in the end because people have mothers. I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, man. So what the fuck was I even talking about? I got the politics, right? There's a whole bunch of like, it's weird how similar a lot of things in like a lot of films like this are with like footage of the World Trade Center blowing up, because like that's like in this movie particularly it's like super obvious. Right, and that's like, I guess that's like a, it's weird because that's like a national tragedy that was almost like manufactured by the media, you know, because it killed a lot of people and it sucked, but it only kind of happened in like one place, you know. But like it's like a big, it's like within like the, you know, the fucking like zeitgeist of like this decade, I guess. It's zeitgeist, I'm saying shit like zeitgeist. But you know, like for, you know, like it's something that like everybody can like reference, and it tends to turn up in fucking a lot of movies like this. There's a lot of like buildings falling down, like a big fucking dust cloud fucking flies down the street and like covers everything and shit like that. Like those fucking like all those like weird like cell phone videos and shit that came out from that. But shit, man, yeah. So um, but the politics are weird because it's like there's this there's this part about like victims of like fucking Metropolis getting blown up where they have like this they have a monument that looks like exactly like the fucking like Vietnam monument, you know, the one with like the black fucking shit, the fucking like the black slabs with all the people who got shot, like all their names in it and stuff like that. But this one has like a big Superman like fucking like doing some crazy superhero pose like in front of it. Yeah, man. And people fuck with that. And there's this whole thing about like making terrorist threats and how much like time they can get you and shit like that. But it's weird because it really presents like a multitude of like opinions and arguments, and I don't think they really like thought through like what the themes of this movie are. like politically, they just put a whole bunch of shit in there that like people might grasp onto. Right? Ah, man. So there's that. And then they do like, you know, thematically with like the characters, right? Because like they do a whole bunch of shit with that wrong, I think. Like, because like Batman and fucking Lex Luthor want the same shit in this movie for the same reason, right? They want to fuck up Superman because he's an alien who can kill everybody, you know, or like enslave people or whatever, and they're all super fucking freaked out about it. So you know they're trying to get kryptonite to stab this guy with, and that's like a big fucking deal, you know. But like there's never like any there's never nobody ever tries to draw a direct parallel between those two guys within the film, you know. So it just kind of seems it seems like a missed opportunity almost, you know. There's never a part where, you know, anybody like questions their motives because the other guy's doing shit. And also somehow Lex Luthor figures out that Batman is fucking Bruce Wayne, but it's never shown on screen. Yeah, nobody ever usually like the fucking secret identity shit is like a big deal in these things, right? But he just figures it out, or he doesn't even like figure it out. You don't see him figuring it out, or like, you know, wondering who it could be, or he just fucking knows because I guess he's just like that good at being a bad guy or whatever. I don't know, man. So there's that. I didn't like that. You know, their two characters were like a missed opportunity because they hardly have any screen time together. You know, Lois Lane was this part where fucking Luther's like abducting people with like he's got like these Russian dudes that are like mercenaries or whatever, and they're like abducting the shit out of everybody fucking Superman now, so he can like summon him there, you know, and have him fight Batman somehow, right? Like I'm not, you know, yeah. So these guys are abducting people, and this movie has the same kind of movies with the same kind of problem with like time and distance that fucking the last Nolan Batman movie had, because these fucking guys they abduct Martha